Hello gentlemen and welcome to SPF Style. My name is Sean and today we're talking all about suspenders. Ow. Let's get started. Alright gentlemen, the suspender was created first and foremost to keep your pants up. That is the main priority of the suspender. However, nowadays in fashion it's become more and more of a staple in fashion and less of its actual use. Not gonna do that again. Most people wear the suspenders, like I said, to keep their pants up, but it is becoming more and more of that staple in fashion to actually just wear them because they look cool. For instance, for me, these pants that I'm wearing actually fit me just fine. I'm wearing them just because I needed to make it a complete look, and for work, I didn't want them to say it wasn't a complete look at work. You're going to see suspenders in two types. You're going to see the clip-on suspenders, like I'm wearing now. This is a clip-on suspender, also called alligator teeth. Sometimes they're extremely hard to get undone. There we go. That is the clip-on suspender. I prefer the clip-on suspender than the loop suspender. Pants have been made for suspenders. If you find a pair of pants, mostly it's in tuxedo pants, but you can find them in other types of pants as well, with no belt loops, it means that you must wear suspenders with these pants. If you open the pair of pants up and you look on the inside of the waistband, you're going to see buttons sewn into the pants. That is where the loops of the suspenders go in and keep your pants up. However, can you wear suspenders with belt looped pants? Absolutely. You just have to follow the number one rule of suspenders. And that rule is no belts. You should never ever wear a belt and a suspenders together in the same outfit. Alright, now there's actually a trick to wearing suspenders, and the trick is when you put them on, and I'm going to show you that trick right now. Okay gentlemen, the trick to wearing suspenders is knowing how to attach them to the pants. Now, whether you're doing the clip-on suspenders like I'm going to show you right now, or the loop suspenders, the same rule applies. The trick is to put the suspenders on the pants before you put the pants on. Okay? Now there's a really easy way to do this. First you flip your pants over and you find the center. Usually there's a seam. You probably can't see it, but there's actually a seam right here. What you're going to do is you're going to take the suspender bottom and you're just going to clip it right to the pants and clip it down. Okay? So it's just like that. Then you flip them over. Okay? And make sure they're straight. And if they're not straight, you can usually fix it right away, but it's better to make sure they're straight right away, because otherwise it's kind of a pain in the butt to fix it later. And you're going to clip it here. Now, depending on the size of your body, this is just kind of a general rule. Your pants are going to have one belt loop on the front, one on the side, and then one on the back on each leg of the pant. Okay? So you're going to find the ones on the front, and you're going to go right next to them. You're not going to go on the inside of them. You're going to go to the outside of them. And I would say just maybe about a half an inch over from the belt loop towards the sides of the pants. Alright. Okay gentlemen, you still don't believe me that that's the correct way and the way that you probably should wear suspenders and put them on your pants? I'll show you how difficult it can be doing it by yourself. I'm going to put on these pair of suspenders while I'm talking to you, and I just want to show you. You're never going to get right on the middle. I mean, you can kind of feel where it is, but it's just kind of like a pain in the butt to clip, and then, there it goes, you know. And now I got to bring them up towards the back, and I got to worry about getting them straight, and it's just a pain in the butt. And now I got to get them straight. So now I got to clip them again. Alright, it's just so much easier, and that might have looked easy from you just because I'm used to wearing suspenders. I wear them almost every day when I have to dress up for work and stuff like that. That's just kind of the way I do it. But that's not necessarily the correct way, so I would definitely stick with the way, you know, lay the pants out, clip them to the pants, and then put your pants on. The suspenders will not get in the way while you're trying to pull up your pants. Alright guys, now it's time to talk about the rules of wearing suspenders. Rule number one, we went over it before. No belts and suspenders in the same outfit. Rule number two, you should always match the color of suspender to the pair of pants to make sure that it coordinates. It does not have to match exactly, but it at least has to coordinate. So for example, I'm wearing a black pair of pants. Therefore, I'm going to wear a black pair of suspenders. If I was wearing a navy blue pair of pants, I would not wear a black pair of suspenders. I would wear a navy blue pair of suspenders. They have to coordinate. So even if you're wearing a khaki pair of pants, which I wouldn't recommend wearing suspenders with really at all, but if you're going to, you could do black, but maybe go for something a little more subtle. Maybe go for something that matches the rest of your outfit. Okay, because you're obviously not going to find khaki pairs of suspenders. You'll find brown. Brown will work, but personally I just wouldn't wear suspenders with khaki pants. Alright guys, and there you have it, suspenders. How to wear them and when you should wear them. Actually, we didn't really cover when to wear them. Let's cover that really quick. When to wear suspenders. Now you should wear suspenders whenever you're not wearing a vest with a suit. Why am I holding a belt? I have no idea. Whenever you are wearing a suit, let's say a three-piece suit, okay? Three-piece suit is going to be coat, pants, and vest. If you're not wearing a vest and you still want the effect, you should definitely wear suspenders. Reason being is because when you take off the jacket, it still gives a complete look. It boxes out the tie, and it keeps everything really symmetrical within the outfit. A vest, when you take it off, it still looks like a complete look because you're wearing a vest. When you take off your jacket and you're wearing suspenders, it still looks like a complete look. So whenever you're wearing a suit, I would recommend to wear suspenders if you do not already have a vest. If you're wearing for business, business suspenders work for business. If you're going casual, they work for casual. They go pretty much for everything. Now, there's a stereotype out there that when it's business, it's just the used car salesmen that wear these underneath their sport coats. Not true. That's 100% false. You could wear suspenders every day if you wanted to. Alright guys, now that's it. I'm done talking at you today. If you guys have any questions about suspenders or any of the other topics featured on this channel, please feel free to email me and I will answer your questions. My email address is spfstyle@gmail.com. That again is spfstyle@gmail.com. I will answer any questions. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. Feel free to email me anything. Alright? Well, maybe not anything, but anything about this channel, I'd be more than happy to answer. This is SPF Style, signing off.